Good afternoon. Again, as Satan has already stated, we're grateful to have this opportunity to speak on behalf of what has transpired and collectively gather ways to make it better. We can't change the past, but we can make changes today that will affect the future. And that's what we're here for. And my goal is to talk about how we can help champion the community and monitor and mentor our youth. That's my goal. I'm not going to do a lot of reading, as Pastor Sapp would say, but the book of Titus has 3 chapters, and all 3 of them are wonderful. But what's going on is an older minister, Paul, is taking on a younger minister, Titus, and he's mentoring him. He's not only mentoring him, he's assisting him. Because sometimes we give people assignments and we don't walk them all the way through. It's not just enough to tell people what to do. We need to train them also how to do it as well. So here he is with this assignment, and we thank God that he stuck with Titus all the way. The assignment was, we're going to evangelize. We're going to leave the church, and we're going to go out in the community. We're going to do a work in the community. Preparing him not only for ministry, but the game of life. Because life is very valuable. Takes him down to the city of Crete, and there's mixed beliefs. Just like now we have mixed beliefs. But he's going to train him how to handle yourself in an environment with mixed beliefs. Some believe, some don't believe. Some have been misled. So your assignment is to go with me, and I'm going to train you by example. As I do, you do also. Isn't it good when leaders lead by example? And I think our young people are watching, waiting on examples. Because sometimes they have bad examples. But we want to challenge ourselves as clergy, as church, as Christians, as people of God, men and women of God, to set better examples. Watch what we say, watch what we do when we're in the presence of our youth. Because they are like sponges, and they also like tape recorders. What they hear, they repeat. What they see, they begin to mimic. He taught them how to be a good leader and how to exercise good leadership. But most of all, your lifestyle has to match up with your leadership. And here's what's the solution. Teach sound doctrine. And sometimes it's the smaller things that we tend to overlook. Teach morals. Teach manners. Teach character. Teach respect. Some of the things that we used to have, we would say back in the day. But sometimes now, our parents are in a hurry, they're busy, working, what have you, and sometimes the TV raises our children. So they learn other avenues instead of some of the basics of life. But we have to be mindful that people are watching us. And he began to teach. He said, listen, the older needs to teach the younger. The older men teach the younger men. The older women teach the younger women. Teach them how to handle themselves in this game of life. We need some old school teaching. And I know rules have changed and laws have changed, but my mother probably wouldn't have made it in the free world. She had a way of teaching me when I didn't listen. She would bring out a switch or a belt, and sometimes I learned more from the correction when I didn't quite understand the direction. They're watching us, and you know, people are watching you, some want you to fail, some want you to succeed. So That's why we need sound doctrine, how to carry ourselves. You know, the day and time hasn't changed that much. It's always mixed emotion, mixed beliefs, mixed feelings. And I want to just go back a few years ago when I was in the second grade. We had just entered into, just left segregation and went into integration here in Conyers. It was my first year integrated school, and my mother said, listen, respect your elders. And that was everybody who was older than I was. And she said, if you don't respect your elders, you're going to have to answer to me. And sometimes I hear mothers saying something different now. Don't listen to nobody but me. So sometimes the kids fail to listen to teachers and law enforcement officers and ministers because they're doing what they're taught. She said, respect everybody. She said, first you respect God, then respect others. But most of all, she said, respect yourself. Now I hear a lot of young people saying they're getting disrespected, but sometimes the way they walk and talk and dress, you know, they're not respecting themselves. So they need some sound doctrine. She said, listen, if there are any problems, you wait till you get home and let the adults handle adult situations. Sometimes our children try to be adults too soon. I have a 19-year-old, and I tell him he's the smartest 19-year-old that I've ever met. He has the answer to everything. But when he gets in trouble, when he gets to a problem, he knows, let me call Dad. He'll tell me I'm old school back in the day, but once he gets in trouble, Daddy, can you help me out? Because we made that, we set the foundation. We set the foundation. And parents, we've got to help in this cause. We've got to be proactive. They've got to learn at home. The home affects the community. Because a lot of time when the children act up in the community, the parents will be saying, you know better than that, but obviously they've gotten used to acting like they're acting. So we want to challenge ourselves to mentor. Let's take someone on our wings, just like Paul did with Titus. Because if each one can reach one. Listen, he said, listen, I'm going to teach you and you teach others. You never know the person that you teach who they're going to encounter. And guess what? When we get strong youth, they will repeat it to other youth. So we got to find out the leader. We got to have the mindset of the gang leader. The gang leader finds the leader in the community, and he puts him on his team because he can go out and get more. So we got to find the leaders in our community. Finally, when I played basketball at Rockdale High, Councilman Coach Cleveland Stroud was my coach. And he said, Ship, you have the gift of basketball, but you don't know the game. He said, but that's why you need the coach. He can correct you, he can give you directions, but he will help you perfect your gift. And our young people, they need a coach. You need someone to guide you along the way. Well, I didn't want to receive it at first. But one thing about the coach, you decide if you want to play or not. You decide how much you want to play by respecting the coach. But because he set a good example, being my neighbor and a friend of the family, I had respect him. And he actually helped me to be more than I would ever have been because I had to listen. Our youth need coaching. Parents, guardians, clergy, friends, teachers, they need coaching. They're doing the best they can with what they know. Someone has to take them under their wing because when they lose a life, when they lose a life, it's like the late Dr. Miles Monroe said, it's a lot of graves with potential that's buried. Some of them could have been great doctors, great lawyers, great leaders, but they've gone to the grave early. And he said his goal in life was to leave here empty. He wanted to give all that he had while he was alive in the earth. Don't deprive anybody by holding back knowledge and wisdom. Dr. Martin Luther King said it like this: if I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer someone in a word or song, if I can help someone who's traveling wrong, then my living will not be in vain.